one is coming, or whoever is coming, the revision of the ex gratia thing, that's emoluments that they take away, must not be revised to their disadvantage.
That's what the Constitution is saying.
Yes. They must not be, it must not be revised to their disadvantage. What it means is that if those people got X, it cannot be X minus 1.
It has to be either X or X plus 1.
X or X plus 1. So we have seen this progressive addition or swelling up of ex gratia from year to year, from term to term, and it has gotten to where we are now.
But these are people that we didn't force them to hold the offices they are holding. These are people that, on individual volition, they got up one day, I want to become president, I want to become vice president, I want to become MP, I want to become minister of state, on their own will to serve their nation. Yeah. Why should we pay them that much?
That is the question. You see, that is a problem some of us have with the constitution that we have. The Constitution of Ghana is a wonderful piece of document that has served us for about 2 decades, and with just a little problem. And the little problem for us is a very huge problem now for some of us. And this little problem is where we are. You see, the committee that will be set, that is supposed to be set under Article 71, has 2 different types of job to do. They have recommendations that they will make for heads of certain institutions who are also under Article 71 or beneficiaries of Article 71. And there, that one, whatever decisions they make, they take it directly to the president for approval. So most of the time we don't hear about that one. Then there's another one they do that is for the president, his vice, and some ministers, I think. And that one goes to parliament for approval. So there are 2 sets of reports or recommendations. One to the president for approval,
and one goes to parliament
for approval. The one that goes to the president, we normally do not hear anything. But it's a huge chunk of money.
For the purposes of education, so that people that do not really know what Article 71 holders are. Article 71 of the Constitution says that determination of certain emoluments. And then we have 1, the salaries and allowances payable and the facilities and privileges available to a speaker and deputy speakers of parliament and members of parliament, the chief justice and other justices of the superior court of judicature. Then we have the attorney general, the chairman and deputy chairman of the electoral commission, the commissioner for human rights and administrative justice and his deputies, and district assemblies common fund administrators. Now we have the chairman, vice chairman, and other members of the National Council of Higher Education, also ever described. The Public Services Commission, III, the National Media Commission, IV, the Lands Commission, and VIN, the National Commission for Civic Education, being expenditure charged on the consolidated fund, shall be determined by the president on the recommendation of a committee of not more than 5 persons, appointed by the president, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State. The salaries and allowances payable and the facilities available to the president, vice president, the chairman, and other members of Council of State, ministers of state, deputy ministers, being expenditure charged on the consolidated fund, shall be determined by Parliament on the recommendation of the committee referred to in clause 1 of this article. For the purpose of this article, and except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, salaries includes allowances, facilities, and privileges, and retiring benefits or awards. This is what the 1992 Constitution provides. And well,
yes,
I really want to ask. These are people that, like I indicated earlier,
yes,
on their own volition, they are serving Ghana.
Yes.
And we feel that we have to, because they are serving Ghana, we have to make them comfortable,
yes,
whilst in service and outside service.
Yes.
I want to know, what uniqueness is this rules that they are serving in? Because already they are going to receive fat salaries, fat allowances. They even have security detailed for them 24/7. Now, after serving this number of tenure and going, is that very necessary that we also give them ex gratia, devoid of what the law is saying?
Yes.
Putting into perspective their rules and their functions.
Yes. If you ask me, I would say that the amount of money we give them, or what this monies, allowances, salaries, and whatsoever we give them, for me, is way too much. Too much, and the country cannot sustain it. It's not sustainable. Yes, it's way too. These are men who have already made it in life. They have accomplished whatever aims they have. They are men of substance. They are not. If you look at the classes, the groups of people you just mentioned, they are not people in the society. They are the highest we have, and so these are people. If we have a country that we all need to sacrifice to build or to push forward, then just as the ordinary man on the street, like we are doing, they must also see some need for them to also sacrifice for the country. But you see, this is the situation where the Constitution is actually giving them these things, and it's also been entrenched. And so it's like the hands of everybody is tied. So until we all rise up as a nation and make the decision to amend that portion of the Constitution,
a trend position, meaning that if we should educate our viewers,
yes.
I mean, there's a need for us to go through a constitutional review process,
yes.
and then now land ourselves into a referendum. Where we vote a yes or no as to whether we want this clause to be altered
or not. So then we all have to come, because the president cannot sit down there and do it alone. No minister can get up and do it. Even the Attorney General, Minister for Justice cannot do it.
But are you sure that our presidents so far and to come are ever willing to see to it that they issue an executive instrument for a referendum to be passed on some of these entrenched positions of the Constitution?
That is the problem. As to whether or not they are willing to do it is the problem, because, mind you, they are the beneficiaries of these provisions. And so far, let me say that it started gradually. The initial stage, I want to believe that, I don't have the figures here, but I want to believe that at the initial stages, the amounts were not all that big to cause any alarm. So we all thought that, oh, well, it's a normal phenomenon. But then going forward, we started having these exorbitant figures that some of them, when you look at it, then you ask yourself, why are we doing this to this nation?
If we look at what has been given to, sorry to cut it, Toby Afede, and if we should just suppose that even with this, maybe every other Council of State member is getting this amount, how is the calculation done for all those Article 71?
You see, the whole thing is so amorphous. You do not have any basis for
the age calculation,
for the computation. It is not something you can sit in your room and take a pen and paper and do. Just as we do for the other public and government workers. You look at the minimum wage, and then you say, well, he will take this at the end of the month. So at the end of the year, he will take. If he's paying this as needs, he should be able to take this at the end of it. So you can do all this computation in your room. But for this one, the whole thing is shrouded in some mystery that to unravel it is a problem. You don't really get any basis for the computation of these figures. It's like something that just a handful of people have until if that committee is formed today, and you and I happen to be on the committee, then it is then that we become privy to what actually the figures are.
I've been taken.
Yes.
Lawyer, with this, let me say that it's been shrouded in mystery on how the competition is done. Let me come and take a sector like the Council of State. Now, if my research proves me right, it means that they are just an advisory board to the president.
That's the Council of State.
The Council of State.
Of course, yes.
And now we have what we also call cabinet, where we have ministers who sit with the president on what is happening on the various sectors.
Yes.
Some of their decisions are being taken to cabinet for advice to be taken before executive policies are being brought.
Okay.
Without the Council of State, can't we run as a nation?
Yes, we can run as a nation, but I think that we will be having problems to have a leader without a council. I actually agree that we should have an advisory board that will advise our president and the vice president. Mind you, let me draw the attention of the listeners and the viewers to this. We have an executive presidency with so much powers in hands. So now, so far, we have got very level-headed presidents. So we are not seeing any problem with. There are other. It's not only the ex-gratia thing. The Constitutional Review Committee. If you read their recommendations, there are some of the recommendations they make that I personally endorse 100%. For instance, if you look at the provision that gives the president or exonerate the president from all criminal and civil trials. You know what that means? If you have a crazy president who gets up today and gets a cutlass and chop off the heads of about 10 people,
we can't hold him.
He goes scot-free. What it means? And the Constitution holds, you can only hold him responsible after 3 years. And after 3 years, that action, you must prove that it was a personal action. So if he says that it was during the course of his governance, so he beheaded those people in order to have a smooth governance, then he goes scot-free. Do you understand it? So we have a potential constitutional crisis sitting somewhere in the provisions in our constitution, where our president, if the president gets up today and says your wife is the woman you want, you take it. You can't do anything to him. Yes,
unless Diabo.
you can't do anything to him because he's been absorbed of all criminal and civil matters. You go and you can go and sue somebody for so and so, but the president, you cannot do it. So whatever he does is so sacrosanct and free of any repercussion on him or himself or anybody. So if tomorrow we have the Idi Amin type of president or the Sani Abacha type of president, and they get up and decide to cause mayhem and foment trouble, and it does not even have an advisory board, then of course we will be in for a very big trouble. So the essence of the Council of State cannot be overemphasized.
Okay, it's not overemphasized. I'm grateful that you've been able to lay a premise for them.
Yes.
We need to have them so far as when we look at the enormity of powers invested into our president. But they are being paid salaries. They enjoy benefits. They haven't staked vehicles and fuels. I'm sure definitely they will even be getting accommodation allowances among other things.
Of course.
In serving all these rules and functionings in that full capacity that they are serving, in that maybe yourself and other Ghanaians will share that we need to have them in place. Is it necessary that we also give them this exorbitant amount that we are giving them?
I have always maintained that I'm not, especially for the Council of State. Look at the amount of money that was given to them. And you see, we have the former Chief of Defense Staff, is that not it?
Yes.
As a member.
As a member.
A former IGP.
To be a member.
A former Chief Justice.
Chief Justice, yes.
Is that not it?
It's true.
And then we have 16 appointees.
Appointees, yeah.
From, as I said, no, 16 elected members
from
all the 16
regions, yeah.
And then we have 11 appointees from the government. We cannot deprive any region in Ghana of a representation on the Council of State. So that one, the 16, no problem. Fine. The other members, like the former IGP, like the Chief of Defense Staff,
the Chief Justice.
These people already are on retirement benefits from their offices. A former IGP has his attraction, everything he's enjoying. Former Chief Justice has everything he's enjoying. Former whatever Defense Staff is also enjoying whatever he has. So why also give him an additional? So we are double counting the benefits to this class of people.
Already, if we have a Chief Justice to be a member of the Council of State,
yes,
that Chief Justice stands to enjoy emoluments for serving as a Chief Justice,
yes,
upon retirement.
Yes.
So once that person is enjoying that emolument,
yes,
the person will now come and enjoy emoluments as a former Council of State member.
Yes.
That is also also double.
It's double. So what you see happening is that people are being paid double salaries or double allowances or double benefits, double gratuity, And they are taking it, and they are taking it. The number 11, the 11 number of appointees that the government appoints, for me, where we are today is too much. You see, Toby Apede refunded 200 and...
It's almost
65,000. If you multiply that figure by the 31 members of the Council of State, you'll be getting over 11 million Ghana cedis. In these are trying times. What are we doing to our country?
And these are times where people have not been paid. Have not been paid national service allowances and other things.
No, I mean, times are
it's 364,000 plus.
Multiply that one by 31. You will get more than 11 million Ghana cedis. I did the calculation, but I cannot. I never did. Whoever is watching can just punch it. Punch that figure times 31. And you have over 11 million Ghana cedis. Can you imagine what that money can do? And this is just one set of one set of group of people who enjoy ex gratia. And that is a Council of State members. You have not talked about the others you have mentioned.
Yes, but let me come to the others. There's this notion. Prof. Jampo ahead on recently. I think that early this afternoon he lost his dad. Condolences to the family of Professor Jampo.
Oh,
yes,
our condolences.
He's been very pivotal and added his voice to this matter and said that if we look at the benefits alone that these people stand to get, it is good that we remove them from office, because it seems that their benefits are becoming even too much than the services that they render to the state.
Yes, it is. But you see, as I'm saying, we must be thinking of being prudent. So we're thinking of cutting down costs. So the number, as I'm saying, of 31 is too much. Let them bring it down to about 20 or 20, to a little bit above 20. Then we are fine. But you see, at the same time too, we cannot say that we don't need them. We need them as in. For me, I think that we need the Council of States because of the kind of presidency we have. But if you have a country that has so much problems as we are having today, then of course I expect the beneficiaries of this scheme themselves to come out and say that no, enough of this. So what Toby Apede did for me was a good gesture. My only problem with it was for him to have singled out himself to do it.
Okay, were you expecting him to call his colleagues?
I was expecting that he impressed. He's a leader. He's a chief. I know Toby Apede. He could have, if he had actually wanted to do, he could have convinced. I know some members of Council of States who could have also done that alongside with him.
But this is a personal decision.
No,
so
but you see,
your initial cry on that the others should emulate. Maybe as we could end it that way because it is personal. He feels I don't need it. Maybe the others will not feel the same.
I am looking at it
on the level of his influence that he can have
holistically, and the level of his, you see, we are a country that are in crisis. Not only Ghana, worldwide. We have crisis. We are in crisis times. So if you have a good gesture like this one, you don't keep it to yourself and then jump up as the angel among the rest to come and do it. What you are doing is that you are giving the rest of them, who are also men, I mean, accomplished men and women, you are giving them a very bad image in the first place. And they too.
But if like you are saying, I've been in the same maybe league with you.
Okay.
Take it that I'm Togbe Afede, and I've taken this move, and you feel you can do same. You should just openly come up and say that I also do same.
Yes, but we did not know until Togbe Afede came out with is it notification or letter?
The letter, yes.
Yes, that this is what has happened and he has returned it and blah, blah, blah. For me, well, he's trying to do Ghana good, but I think that is not enough. Because we need all the money. We need all the money, not only from the Council of State. All these ex gratia people, they should just say that, forget about our ex gratia. Use the money to push the country forward, so that we go forward. So, I mean, to single yourself out and do it, for me, wasn't in a bastard. You could have done it. I'm not looking at the political aspects or
the motive.
The motive. I am looking at Ghana as a country and where Ghana is. Look, the Council of State could have done that. If they have actually shown that gesture to save that 11 million, they could have told the president, look, there are other beneficiaries of this scheme. They are also taking so much. Tell them that they should also make sacrifices. If they cannot even make forfeit everything.
This call you are making, the
Yes.
emoluments committee that is being appointed by the president.
Yes.
I have never cited in any of the recommendations that certain people or these people don't deserve the ex gratia.
The Constitution is saying that you cannot review it to their advantage, to their disadvantage.
Review it, but you have recommendations to give.
Yes. So when you are recommending
national conversation,
so when you are recommending, you cannot recommend lower. That is what the problem is. And you see, as if that wasn't enough, to add, let me say, sort to our injury, what the Constitution also said is that all these monies that these people take are tax exempt. What it means is that they will not pay tax on anything. So if you have 11 million going to just Council of State, no tax on it. We don't know how much is going to the other members. We don't know how much is going to this. We don't know how much is going. So at the end of the day, you realize that the country needs money to move forward. The money is raised by government, but it is used to settle this class of people who already have money.
I want to ask.
So the purpose of this has been defeated.
Are noble men and women.
Of course, yes.
If we should use, I'm not sure the word conscience will be too much of a strong word, but even if it is, they should pardon me. That do they really? Is there anything like conscience? That those that have taken from 92 up to this date, are we going to say that it is only Togbe Afede who has conscience to say that it is inappropriate? He feels that he does not need it. Is that right to put it?
No, even Togbe Afede himself is also as guilty as any one of them. Because from the time I heard of him being a member of the board of the Bank of Ghana, he also had enjoyed all these things and he kept quiet. You see, maybe today he slept and an angel whispered into his ears that, look, what you and your cohorts are doing to this country is no good. Do this. So for me, I want to believe that it was a divine intervention from God that actually came. But he shouldn't have kept that one to himself. That is my problem. So because this is a time where everybody now in Ghana is sacrificing. Everybody is sacrificing. I am a very critical person, but because of the time that we are in, I don't look at political correlation of anything. I have accepted that times are hard. And so we all have to contribute our quota. So if I'm buying fuel, petrol for more than 10 cedis per liter, I know that is my contribution.
All right,
you understand that?
Let me go to the line and speak to Dr. Tubuain, our police colonel. Good evening, doctor. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm good.
Dr. Tubuain, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you also hear me?
I can, sir. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm well by the special grace of God. Doctor, what is the irrelevance of still having a Council of State in our present day Ghana if we look at our political dispensation, where we've come from, where we are today, and where we look forward at forging to? Do we still need them? Because on the legal front, lawyer John Agbote has been able to tell us that we need them because of the too much power invested in the executive one way or the other. But from the political analytic point of view, do we still need the Council of State in present-day Ghana?
My brother, good evening, man. Good evening to the panel members and the studio. I asked for a little business in my voice because I'm dying from malaria.
Speedy recovery.
Yeah, I don't know whether you use the word relevant.
Yeah, the relevance. I used it, yes.
Relevant or irrelevant?
I wanted to ask the relevant. It's relevant in present day Ghana.
Oh, okay. All right. This issue has come up, I think, from last week or so, and various people have expressed their opinion. You know, and I think that each side of the argument appears sound. There are those who are for and those who are against it. But again, but the question that you ask, as think that the whole issue has to do with some issues in the Constitution, which of course a lot of people have argued that certain portions of our Constitution, that is the 1992 Constitution, need to be reviewed. All right. I didn't really say that looking at what is going on, we should throw away our Constitution. But again, I want to say that there are certain aspects of the Constitution which are good for us regarding our present circumstances. But it still remains a fact that certain portions of the Constitution need some review so that it can meet present and future needs. For instance, this issue about Elgracia, this issue about 4 years term and stuff, we need to look at it again. You see, from our Constitution, certain economic, drivers which are enshrined in the Constitution, probably might have lived this useful. And that is one argument that is this Gracia, issue. I think that the good people of Ghana should listen those who can reach you, raise valid questions, so that going forward, when it becomes necessary for us to review, of course, the contribution will come, and we will know that whatever is in 30 into 20, 30, 40, 50 years time, it will still be relevant. Today, a time ago, we are talking the studio and said that where our development has got into. It is not just an issue of governance, but it is an issue of innovative governance. But I thought that's very important. All right. Now, if somebody should become a council of state, the question is that what are the key missions of the members of the council of state? What are they mandated by the state to do? And as to whether we can classify that as a full-time job or a part-time job. And if it is a full-time job, what is the right motivation for them? And if it is a part-time job, what is the right motivation for them? Now, when you look at some of the figures coming out, 20,000 Ghana, a month, and most of he actually indicated that he believes that it is a part-time job. It is a part-time job. Then you ask yourself, a teacher who spends more than 8 hours in the classroom, serving teachers, how much is that person earning? All right. You ask yourself that a lecturer who doesn't even go on break and works from 1st January to 31st December, how much is that person taking? All right. So you see, at this program, people will come out and be talking. Now you see, it gets to that point where people feel that there are injustices in the system. There isn't anything like mutuality or a kind of reciprocity, and that the system is tilted in an imbalanced way, favoring some members of the society, in quotes, who are regarded as important, and some people who are not important are also going to suffer. Meanwhile, they are the very people who are generating income for the country.
Having said this, a friend of mine in the conversation said that Ghana, for a long time now, has not really been a democratic state, but we are looking at practicing aristocracy, where rich, influential people get to benefit from resources. From what you are saying, is that the case we are facing in Ghana now?
I wouldn't do the debate that your friend put it. What I see is that it is a constitutional error that is favoring some people, in society, and others, it is not favoring them. If you read the Orwell's book, okay, the Animal Farm.
The Animal Farm, yeah.
Yes, you get to know that the type of messages that he was trying to communicate at that time, is what people have carved, for it to benefit them. You see, I wouldn't see any reason why, ex-president Pepsival, may so rest in peace, started to do a review. After the time the review was ready, he was not that strong. And that document is sitting down, and nobody seems to be bothered. All right? What is happening? It tells you that somebody has benefited. It is my time for me to benefit. Would I even care if I change it? Or if I don't change it, why do you care? You understand? But you see, when it gets to a certain level, in quotes, I would say that there may be some level of apathy in people. And people may seem to be working just as better because of how they go to it. Employees will seem to be working, and employers are also regarded or seem to be paying. And that is very bad for us as a country going forward. Right? I think that I think before I started, I heard one of the panel members talking about sacrifices. They are all sacrifices. But you see, when you show that you are putting in so much and earning little, and somebody is putting in less and getting more, then that's injustice. All right. So, I think that some people should be bold. Some people should be bold. To call for, a review of the constitution. And if whatever ex-president knows Mr. Pepsival did is there, what prevents us from visiting it and even enforcing it? All right? I think that, you see, they say that Rome was not built in a day, meaning that it took a lot of ideas, it took a lot of suggestions, it took a lot of struggles to get Rome where it is now. And so, if you are not going to sacrifice along that line, and we feel that we are sacrificing financially, when the sacrifices in itself, is tailored to a certain group of people, or tailored to benefit a certain group of people, where comes the sacrifice? It's just like a little brother and the father. Then the father tells the brother, we don't have money in the house, so you all hold our stomach, and when there's food, the food comes, the food is more. Then the father says, I'm the father to allow me to eat. What do you think the father is?
Agitation.
Okay. I think that food, and brother, we all have to be fair. We all have to approach this debate from a nationalistic perspective. Right? Because if Ghana is good, it is not just good for NDC alone, and it is not just good for NDC alone. It wouldn't be good for NDC supporters alone, and it wouldn't be good for NDC supporters alone. Alright? Now that case is about 3 cities. People are trying. You understand? And the person who is taking 19,000, the person who is taking 16,000 a month, the person who is taking 400 Ghana cedis a month, is buying that place in K. 3 cities. Alright? So we need to be serious as a country.
Doc, I wanted to know if there's any particular approach, because you've raised an issue of injustice in the system, and you've been able to allude to the fact of the current economic imbalances that we have and the increment in the general prices of goods, among other things. How can we undo the injustice in our system?
So the whole process, like it's about sacrifice. I think we do that. No, right. But the sacrifice, those are the top to be ready. To sacrifice. Let us do our sacrifice. Alright?
Where you mean sacrifices whereby they work without salaries and allowances? Is that what you mean, Doc?
Sorry?
I said you are talking about sacrifices. Is it where they work and they don't receive emoluments in terms of...
No. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fairness.
Okay.
Let's say, as a journalist, and with your qualification and the job that you do, the compensation should be tied to the position and your responsibilities.
Mm.
All right?
Yes.
And then, yes, in parliament, their work should also be tied. Their remuneration should also be tied to their qualifications and the work that they do. All right? Then you see, there will be that level, so that if I have a PhD and I'm in the classroom, okay, there's a day for having a PhD, and my responsibility as a lecturer also comes with certain benefits.
Mm.
And if somebody has a PhD and that person is in parliament, the base for qualification that somebody in classroom is taking, all right, if parliament is a full-time job, then of course that person is there. Then other responsibilities can also give him some allowances.
Mm.
All right, so that you see, people will have no reason for doing what they are doing. So if I have a PhD and I decide to become a public servant, if I have a PhD and I decide to become a teacher, if I have a PhD and I want to become a politician, that basic salary cuts across all PhD holders. It cuts across all first degree holders. It cuts across all HND holders. All right? Then we are moving. Now, if you're a farmer and you also plant your control whatever, how much is government buying a bag? Make sure that you are also compensated. You are also compensated enough, to motivate you to work and work more. All right. But if you're a farmer and whatever you are getting, you can't build a house, you can't take your children to school, your children will also remain poor as you are. Then what are we talking about? What kind of nation are we building? That is what I am thinking of. We should do. I say, you see that we are in classes, and some of us you take entrepreneurship. We are students, and basically they will tell you, I want to become a political entrepreneur. Why? But that is where money is. That is where they can just fast money. And the Constitution, to some extent, prevents, political crime. All right? And if that is the case, all right, then you see a lot of people being in there because after all, I can do whatever I want to do.
Exactly.
And the Constitution will protect me. All right? So, after that, we should have that kind of dispassionate argument, discussion on some of these things. It is not just, how do you call it, the ex gratia that is an issue. The ex gratia is a constitutional error. So the Constitution is what we must tackle, and that wrong will be corrected. There is somebody, one of the parliamentarians was also talking about the fact that, too much, the executive wields too much power. We have discussed this to do time and time again. That the time I was with that they should appeal court judge.
Yes, they're retired appeal court judges.
And we discussed this constitutional issue, deep in detail. All right? But who is listening? And who is ready to take the book by the horn? Who is ready to take action? All right? If you are going to remain like this, government will be working with a leaking bucket. A bucket that is leaking. Money gets into it. The money is built up. Okay? The little that will remain cannot be distributed fairly. That is wrong. Okay? And so I thought that we should go back to our constitution. Read it. Then of course, the bucket that government is working with, we are sure that we have filled every hole in that bucket. And when we put that bucket under a tap, you can get food. And be useful for a purpose. Alright? Yesterday, a friend sent me a WhatsApp message. And the situation was several new contracts that have been signed and that they are going to start some their current good somewhere. Right? And so I asked about your question. The thing is along and I forget that on the how do you call it? To him, how many years from Kufuor second term to Nana Kufuor second term to get that peace, that set of citizens, how many years? Before left office in 2008, 2022, how many years? You get it? And this is a road that if you don't use it, the ordinary citizen will use it, the executive will use it, the judiciary will use it. Alright? So what prevents somebody from fixing that and making it miserable for all of us, to enjoy?
Doc, finally, let me take your view on this one, and then we make do of you. When you look at Article 71 holders, I have a little issue with members of Parliament who also stand to benefit from ex gratia. My challenge is, somebody is a member of Parliament who has an intention of contesting the election again after the tenure, wins the election, goes back to Parliament, and yes, though, receives emolument for gratuity for the previous 4 years term that he or she has served. In moving forward, what can we do for it? Should we make it a one-time thing that we only give it to you when you don't go back to Parliament?
No, but you see, your first question was ask whether it is relevant or irrelevant. You see, let's be fair to ourselves, and to the good people of Ghana, and to Ghana as a country. My brother, a teacher contributes less. A teacher under how do you call it, NAT or NACAT, okay, or even WICAT, contributes less. And you go on pension with your own contribution. Is a teacher not a public servant?
Yes.
Now, the parliamentarian who comes, okay, is equally a public servant.
Yeah.
That person contributes less. Can't just say to benefit that you contribute less. Why is it that when they are full, they give them ex gratia? For what purpose? For what reason? What reason? Somebody will teach 40 years and go through with flesh. How much is the person taking? Within a day or two, the person is dead. Because the person cannot afford just a common drug or medication to keep him alive. We come to Parliament for 4 years, and we are going and we are getting that huge amount of money. So what went done? What is our question? So what went done? Are we not
no.
So So for me, you see that issue of ex gratia, as I said, it's a constitutional error. Giving preferences and favor to certain class of people. Okay? And causing others to suffer unnecessarily. Others have argued that then if that is the case, you should give everybody ex gratia. And I think that from this line of argument, I agree with them. I can totally agree with them. You understand?
I get it.
Because look at the professor who buries his head in books doing research. Ghana is the only country that doesn't respect research. Go to South Africa. South Africa's government has invested a lot of money in research and getting results. Alright, we go to South Africa and we are happy. Our politicians go to Joburg and they are happy. Somebody comes to Accra and they send in a car. We are in this country when a tourist came to Ghana and wrote a very bad report about Accra and the school in Accra. Sorry. Okay, yes, we describe Ghana as the gateway of Africa. Yeah. That is fine. If you go by the Christians, the black star of Africa, the gateway of Africa, okay, that is fine. But you cannot give yourself name when people don't see what you represent. Sorry if I'm becoming emotional, but I thought that this issue of ex gratia, should be cancelled. That's what I'm calling for, a debate to review the constitution. All right, because two legs are bad, one leg are good. When we put on the cloak of a politician, we are good to go. All right, like when we put on the cloak of a teacher or of a trader or a businessman, we will die miserable. Miserable death. I mean, I think that we all have to be fair. When we think I think we know better than I do. All right.
Yes.
And that kind of movement is what we need to articulate.
Thank you, Doc, for your time this evening. And then we wish you a speedy recovery too. And we look forward that you join us in the studio shortly when you are hale and hearty. Thanks for your time.
Sure. I think that next week I will be free, so I can join in and get to me.
That's fantastic. Thank you for your time. That is Dr. Tutu Wine. He is a political analyst. He joined us to have further conversation on this. We are going to go on a quick turn. When we come back, we have more for you on PM Ghana here. My studio guest is lawyer John Agbote, and I also spoke to Dr. Tutu Wine, a political analyst. We'll be right back.
Blood is life. Sonatec Medical Center, together with the National Blood Service, Plaza FM, and Westels Mall is organizing a massive blood donation exercise as we celebrate Blood Donation Day. Date: Saturday, 18th June 2022. Venue: Westels Mall. Time: 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Yes, we are calling out to you, our donor heroes and first-time donors. Come around, let's help save precious lives. This awesome event is an initiative of Sonatec Medical Center and supported by Westels Mall, Nestle Ghana Limited, Plaza FM, and Sanda International. It's going to be a life-changing and life-saving opportunity. Don't miss out. Contact us on our hotline 0242 439467. Give blood and keep the world beating.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching PM Ghana here on Adwa Television. I've been discussing payments of ex gratia and the relevance of the Council of State in our time. And we've been able to open up the conversation in perspective to see what the errors of what is being done. One breast where lawyer, my studio guest is saying that this is gratuity that is supposed to be given to these people. But where it is gotten to now, the amount involved is too much. My political analyst, on the other hand, is saying that, look, these people, by the basis on the Constitution, that constitutional clause is a constitutional error, which needs to be corrected. Now, I'm coming to the studio guest who is a lawyer, because if we are saying this is a constitutional error, it comes back to look at the constitutional review that started in Mill's time. It is now sitting on the shelves, gathering dust. What should we do? Can we say that, okay, we now need a pragmatic president who will come and say that I am that selfless? So I have to go back and look at what the recommendations of the Constitutional Review Committee was back like, so that where that needs implementation should be implemented. What also needs to have a referendum, we'll go ahead to have that one, among other things. What do we need to do so far as the Constitutional Review is concerned?
I think that let's take Collins, Kufuor, and Kufuor out, because at their time, I don't think that the figure was this much. So fine, we all saw it being at normal levels, but where we are now is beyond normal levels. So I was expecting that when President Mills started this project and died along the way, His Excellency John Mahama would have continued the good project and finished. But he sat in office from 2013 to 20. It got ready in December 2011, and he came to office in 2013. Sat on it till he left power in 2016. He didn't do anything. I didn't understand. And then we were expecting that Nado, being who he was when he was in opposition, within 6 months he was going to have this thing implemented. And we are in the 6th year, we are not seeing anything. So I think that what we are doing is a step in the right direction. We are sensitizing people, let educate people, let people know that, look, this is how much these appointees are siphoning from government, and that these monies could have been used to better the loss of every Ghanaian. So if they are taking it, we must impress upon them, because for the committee, their hands are tied behind them. They cannot do anything less. They must always do either the same or go higher. So they always keep going higher and going higher. So the beneficiaries must come to the realization that where Ghana is now, Ghana cannot afford that much for them every 4 years or every year. So let them do something. If they fail to do it, if we have been able to successfully create awareness for people to know what the grounds is, I tell you, this ex gratia thing will be a major political message that whoever promises the people that when it comes, he was going to have that Constitutional Review Committee implemented to get this ex gratia thing off our books, or have it regulated in a way that it will be reviewed to reflect the prevailing economic conditions. So if that were to be the wording of the Constitution, that the review will be done at a time by the committee, taking into account the prevailing economic conditions. Then, of course, I think that is an amendment, but yeah, it is in tune with reality. So then you have people going to say that, no, this times are hard, so let us lower it. Then they bring it. But if you say they cannot do it adversely, then it becomes a problem. So then it becomes a manifesto promise for a candidate who will promise Ghanaians that when I come, I'm going to have it.
Which I see to be very impossible.
It is possible. It is possible. You know, the problem we all have is you and I are doing a very good job here now, but we are speaking English. And how many of the people watching us actually appreciate the importance of what we are putting? If we say, so we have, you see, that's why we need to go beyond this level, to have a pressure group or something to create awareness and put pressure on the beneficiaries to voluntarily sacrifice, because we are all sacrificing. I was talking when the the doctor came in, that look, when I go to buy fuel for more than 10 cedis a gallon, and I'm sacrificing. If I buy kinky that I used to buy for 1 cedi or 2 cedi, now 3 cedis, 4 cedis, I know I'm sacrificing. So then you up there must also see the need to sacrifice. So if the constitution say we should give you more, and you they take it, you also put everything in your pocket. You're not thinking about the ordinary Ghanaian. Meanwhile, you have so much, you have more than enough to eat and sleep. So I think that the education, what you have started doing in this studio, let it continue. And then if you can get a pressure group, I cannot because of, but whichever pressure group wants me to be behind the scene and be advising, I'll readily assist. So that we push this agenda. Let it sink into the minds of Ghanaians. We
are in an era of a political dispensation where people fear to even speak against government because some becomes a victim for speaking up against running. So yes. I shudder to think if people would even have that energy to form pressure groups that will mount pressure on government on matters of this nature.
Thank you. But the issue of ex gratia, the issue of constitutional review is not a political matter. For me, it's not a political. It is a Ghanaian matter. So if as I speak here, if you are a civil society, whatever pressure group, concentrate on the area that you are supposed to work and work well. But if from time to time you tend to be, delving into political matters and making political statements, then you give it a bad correlation. People they see it and say, oh, after all, you are not the neutral organization that we all thought you were. So, or now with this statement and these things you people are saying, we now know where you belong. Then, of course, you cover the bad niche for yourself. So, I think that when you have such groups that speak to the issue as it is, this constitutional matter is neither NDC nor MPP. It is a matter that will push Ghana forward. So, whether you are an MPP or you are an NDC, you must push for it. Even if you are an appointee or you're a beneficiary of Article 71, and you have seen the need for you to sacrifice, and maybe you are afraid because you're in government, you cannot say it, or because you are enjoying, if you say it, the other, your how do you call it, members who pick it, they take it on or something. You have a way of contributing to let Ghanaians know that, look, where we are now, we can't continue doing this. We are Ghanaians. When we go to our villages, our families, and there's a debt or there's a problem, we all contribute to pay it. You understand? If there's a funeral, we all contribute to have it done. Somebody, a member of the family, has gone to incur some debt that has become an albatross hanging over the neck of the family. Everybody contributes something to solve the problem. So if there's a problem in Ghana now, and we are all shouting and crying, then of course everybody must sacrifice. And mind you, to whom much is given,
much is expected.
Thank you. So those who take so much should leave so much for us, for Ghana to use to prosper.
In fact, that is it. Lawyer John, I could take that for you. Those who that you are giving too much, you are giving so much. There's a need for you to be quick some. It's been a wonderful conversation, a wonderful evening on this particular subject. And I think that we as a media outlet would not relent on the conversation that we are championing out there. There's a need for the Article 71 holders to show some level of leadership, to heed to the client that is beginning to gather. There's a need for discerning Ghanaians to come together with one voice to say that there's a need to have a review on some of the entrenched positions we have in our constitution. One, we can even start with the ex gratia matter and other things too that are also even lying there. We can, as time goes by, we can also lift up and look at the entire powers that are vested into the chest of the president or the executive arm of government, among other things. Lawyer John Agbote, I'm very grateful to you. Thanks for coming, and then see you when I see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for watching. The name is Pepsival, and like we stated,
Pepsival.
We are not here to impress. We are here to take the baton to a different level. Have a good evening, and do enjoy the rest of our programs. See you on Thursday.